Another week, another Centre Circle podcast. I'm John.
Hi, Zach.
I'd like Heat.
We're back to the trio.
The wise trio.
The wise trio, innit?
Wise men, yeah?
Yeah, come on. No flakiness around.
So we're saying a
here.
sensible pod today.
Yeah, I think so. Relatively. On today's pod, we're going to cover the weekend's Premier League fixtures. The two derbies, both with controversial decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Villa dishing it out again. And we're going to look forward to the Champions League fixtures. Let's see if Newcastle's fairy tale can continue. I don't think so. And see what's in store for the Europa League. All right, boys. Where should we start? Let me start at Manchester City 2, Brighton 1. I think we said last week. We said with Brighton, you just don't even know which team's going to turn up, right? So it's not out of this world to think Brighton could have gone there and got 3 points,
Yep.
you know, and balled out and played and got 3 points.
I mean,
It didn't quite work out that way.
I think there's an asterisk
Go on.
when it's City.
True, but just because of the way they play and deserve it's one of the few teams where if I looked at my phone 70 minutes in and it was 3-1 Brighton, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a shock, innit?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a shock. That's what I mean.
It'd be a small shock to me. Regardless of the state of City are in now, they're not their well-oiled machine just yet. We all know that kicks in just after Christmas.
January the 1st, yeah.
But City are City. You know, no matter who turns up to the Etihad to play against them, there's always a thought process that this City team are dangerous. You know, and I think the only team really in the last few years I would give that same, or regardless of whether City's Liverpool. I think Liverpool have been the only team really that you don't know what's going to happen in this game against City. I think in most games people there's an expectation that City are going to win or be the dominant team.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I guess when it comes to Brighton and the way they've been playing, what they've been doing, there's a few teams, obviously Liverpool and then the top because been competing for the title, etc. Arsenal maybe now. Give them a good game, but it's just that you know when Brighton turn it on, no one seems to be able to stop them. However, we've seen the other side of Brighton where they can turn up. I just get absolutely moved to. So, like Keith, what do you think? Was this more of a balance? Because it did seem to me that
it's a bit much
City
like
steamed them over or anything.
a tale of two halves.
Yeah,
like
agreed.
the stats will kind of favour Man City, and it will like most games at the Etihad. But Brighton were pretty slow out the blocks in the first half. City got an early goal. Doku,
Mate,
kid's a problem.
mate.
I thought he was like 24, 25, 21.
Yeah.
Is
And every time he picked up the ball, it was just straight
Yeah.
right back. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Nah, this is what I was going to ask. Is he keeping that vibe alive? That old-fashioned winger?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope he does.
Yeah, because it's very rare you see that now in today's game, right? I mean, who do you see that's a wing menace?
No, I agree. I agree.
In the
And I
style
think-
of, like you said, pick up the ball, face the defender up and say,
Yeah.
what are we saying?
Yeah, let's have a run, innit? Like,
well, Pep's keeping it alive, right? Because he had Mahrez before. He made sure he got someone of that ilk again. So I think the manager's still saying, okay, I want this type of pressure on my side. You could argue he did it. He paid 100 million for that with Grealish. I think Grealish is a little bit more draw you in rather than just straight attack you. But
yeah.
when he gets the ball, when he's confident, he's looking forward and trying to exploit that right back or that space in between the right and centre back.
Okay.
But Doku's old school in terms of your point. As soon as he picks
In
up his
direct.
pace,
I'm talking about the
coming
direct.
at you, train, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Pep's had that with Mahrez. So okay, when I replace it now, let me replace it. There's a little bit of that in Saka, Salah. Like, actually, the teams that are doing well now, they've got at least one player who plays that way in their team.
Yeah.
Now it's
even Matoma at Brighton.
There
Like,
you go.
he's a runner.
So maybe it's coming back.
Yeah.
Would you say it's coming back?
We'll see. I think give it a bit more time.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. I think when you're right, when you do look at the top teams, they do have one
Yeah.
player who's that direct.
Villa went and bought DRB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leon Bailey obviously was meant to be that. But
Yeah, well, his goal. We'll come to that.
Oof.
You guys bought Diaz to do that on the other side
Yeah.
because you had Mane and Salah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a problem. I think they're working him with a bit of his composure and his finishing. But in terms of what he tries to do to the right back and get an end result, whether it's crossing or getting a shot on goal, he's
I like it. He's confident in it. Like he
Yeah.
picks up the ball and he's like, as you said, just gonna run at the right back or whoever's there, and just get to the byline and try and create a problem where you don't, like you say, you don't really see that much.
Yeah.
In the Premier League. So yeah, good cutback. Alvarez stats are very good this season. I was chatting to one of my friends who's saying that Real Madrid might come sniffing if they don't get Mbappe. That like Josselu's on a 1-year loan. Why wouldn't they drop money on him?
I wouldn't blame them. It's cheap.
Alvarez.
He's cheaper. He's one of those people where
I could see him at Barcelona.
Yeah. But he's one of those people where, from a football fashionable camp type of view, he doesn't get as much, I don't want to say clickbait, but, he doesn't get much publicity. No one really talks about him that much. But if you're analyst
there's
at
a
Real
reason.
or something,
There's a reason.
Yeah.
no, because he's just a quiet guy that goes, his stats are crazy in terms
But if
of
Haaland's not there, he gets the fanfare.
Yeah. And he'll start at
fair.
most of the Premiership teams now, won't
Bruv,
he? Like,
he can come and start Arsenal, bro. He'll score more goals than Jesus. That's for sure.
I think he's doing what Pep hoped Jesus would have done.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
100%. Yeah.
Exactly.
That fox in the box, a bit of technique, but he knows where the goal is.
Yeah.
Boy, a man asked me, is Jesus better than Eddie Nketiah? I'm going to ask him again this week. No disrespect to Eddie, but...
Yeah. And it's testament to him now that he essentially has to start. Like last season, he would come in for Haaland, to kind of like the lesser games, bring him on for like the last 20 minutes, half an hour.
It was almost a period where it was almost him or Foden. Like he would fill in for Foden as well, right?
Yeah.
I remember that correctly.
Yeah.
I'm kind of play off the side, yeah.
So, and it'll be interesting when KDB's fit, how will fit everyone in.
No, they won't fit anyone in. He will sit on the bench and KDB will play.
It's as simple as that.
That's it.
It's as simple as that.
Unless it's getting to the point where they're looking at numbers and saying
He's undeniable.
Not even that. Your legs can't carry every week. Maybe that's why you keep getting injured. So you're basically going to be the gun we wheel out when it is Man City, Liverpool, City, Arsenal. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting. You reckon they're going to put KDB on the...
Because to the point you've been talking about all season, the amount of minutes that people are playing and the way he plays the game as well, he's all action.
Yeah.
That has, I'm doing some very simple inference here, but it's got to be a factor in keeping him healthy as long as they can. It's got to be.
Yeah.
So it won't surprise. Maybe that's what it is.
I can't imagine he'll be back. He'll be straight in. They've got to ease him in, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be minutes per game for the first few.
Yeah.
They might give him a start and then we cut him off after 60 minutes. I don't think we'll see him play a full game for the first 5 games, possibly.
Yeah. And they got enough players to
unless it's a early stage cup game.
Yeah.
And he's not coming back to the new year, they're saying.
Yeah. That would be perfect for them. Right on time.
Yeah.
Right on time. Season running, it starts now.
But I feel like the second half, because I caught quite a bit of the second half, Brighton got going.
Yeah, after Haaland ended his goal drought.
Yeah, the drought.
His goals have dried up.
Two game goal drought. Brighton, like they're a bit more proactive and on the front foot. Matoma's run for the for Brighton's goal, typical of him, just.
But you know what? Before the goal, he got on the ball a couple of times, and he moves to Kyle Walker, bro. Like he moves to Kyle Walker a good couple of times.
You don't often see Kyle Walker on skates, and for that goal, he was jittery. Like,
and that was like the second or third time. Like now they were on it, so it's almost like that plan had actually started to come to fruition. I think that's what De Zerbi obviously would have wanted first half. So no surprise it came down that left, and then obviously the cut back. Little bit fortuitous. Yeah,
it came off one of the defenders. I can't remember who it was.
But Ansu Fati, another goal for him.
Yeah.
He's not starting, which is, I guess it's not interesting. There are people that were already there, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see if he gets to a point where he starts to command a starting spot.
And I mean, he wasn't commanding a starting spot at Barca.
No, he wasn't. But
I know it was injuries,
yeah,
but then there was also a thought process that he's just not living up to the potential.
yeah. I guess what
Hence why
the
he's at
simplistic
Brighton
thing is,
now.
you've come from Barca. You are one the kid that's on, needs a bit of time on the pitch. Okay, you haven't played much. Come get fit, etc. So I'm interested to see that when it does that. Is that a thing that now leads to him starting games, or is it actually a thing of nah, for the style I want to play, or you're just not good enough? Do you know what I mean? I'm interested to see because if he doesn't, then that kind of tells me what we need to know for when he gets back to Barca. He's gonna move on from this. He might be.
I think that's
Bojan
already
part 2.
I think that's already in the cards.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna move him on.
Yeah, but if he lands at a consistent kind of Champions League team, is that really that bad at his age?
No,
Like,
not at all.
Yeah,
Not
I
at
think
all.
it's.
Not at all.
And even Bojan says it. People talk about me like I failed, but failed compared to who? If you compare me to Messi, then we all failed.
Yeah, this is it.
That's what I'm saying. Then we all failed. But actually, if you just look at my career just as a player, I think I did okay.
Yeah, done pretty well.
Okay.
Then Akanji was sent off quite late on. Wasn't really going to have an effect on the game.
No. But they were pushing though. They were pushing.
Yeah, but yeah, City back to winning ways. Brighton can't be too disheartened. Like if they had won the game, they would have gone above City.
Yeah.
So that kind of shows the improvement that Brighton have.
Solly Marshall got a bad injury as well.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Solly Marshall got a bad. It was one of those innocuous ones. I thought he's standing there, looked like he got caught in the grass, but it's actually his leg that was not on the grass, and no one was near. He's done something. He was. They took him off on a stretcher, leg in the brace, the whole nine. Yeah, it looked a bit mad. So not good news for them. Another injury. Yeah, City march on. I could have done with a 2-2 there. I'll be honest. And then I think it's Manchester Derby next. So United ain't gonna help us in any way, shape, or
The
form.
Derby, you never know, man.
Nah, man. United, they're scraping past Sheffield United on a away. All right, so what's next? What are we looking at next? Merseyside Derby.
3 points right top.
Oh, this
Nice.
guy.
We said, didn't it? We said we were going to beat
Come
them.
on. No,
This was never in doubt.
No.
Never in doubt. Well, it's a derby, no? Never in doubt.
It was never in doubt, but
It wasn't as straightforward.
I watched most of this game, and I was thinking,
Which part wasn't straightforward? Because
no, I was expecting steamroller. I'm not gonna lie. I was as much as Everton have picked up a bit. I was expecting just straight. And
he was never going to get that. And I'll tell you why he was never going to get that. Straight after international break, 12:30 kickoff. Never going to get that.
Yeah, but still, it's Everton. They've been terrible. Apart from the last few games. I mean, they've won two of the last three.
They won their last, no?
The last 2 games, I think.
Yeah, man.
So they're a bit of confidence.
Yeah, it was quite open.
Yeah.
Like, even when it was like 11v11. Ashley Young.
Bro,
Like, people
bro.
people say the first one was a bit harsh. I was like, no. Like, I think the second one was harsher than the first, to be honest.
Wait. So, hold on. But are they doing that thing where people think because it's early in the game,
And it's a derby.
the ref should blow you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, they didn't give Steven Gerrard that fly. And he walked on the pitch and then got sent off.
All right, let it go, mate. Let it go. Do you know what I mean?
Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
There you
come on,
go.
man.
Yeah, and I think that's a nonsense. Like, you got to take each game, like, individually in it. Like, no matter what it is, when it happens, like a foul's a foul, blah blah blah.
But put it on the player. You're an experienced pro. It's a Merseyside derby. Don't get booked after 18 minutes. Just don't do it.
Yeah,
Especially
when
against that player.
Yeah,
And on top of that, let's be honest, he didn't need to lunge on Diaz. Just walk him down the line. And if he's beating you, just hope that someone behind you is there to clean it up.
And then you can say, I'm on a yellow.
Like, do you know what I mean? That's understandable. I'm on a yellow. Like, I've done my best, innit? I'm 38. Well,
He was playing all right as well.
Yeah.
Actually,
like,
he was playing all right.
He'd
He'd already
done
made a
quite
couple
well
blocks.
this season, like,
Yeah.
for his age.
Wow.
Yeah, so he gets sent off.
For his age.
Wow. Ageism.
He's 38 in the Prem, man. Like, it's not a spring chicken thing. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Big him up, though.
But yeah, I think that might be one of the more foolish 2 yellows I've seen in recent
I just
times.
don't understand it.
Yeah,
man.
it was.
There was literally no need to lunge.
And then Konate should have been sent off just based on
mate.
Ashley Young getting
He
sent
should have
off.
gone,
He
shouldn't
should have gone.
Hooked.
And the fact that Klopp,
Wait.
Hooked him.
Wait. I just want to challenge something here. Why do we do this based on what happened with Ashley Young?
Because it's a precedent that's been set in
Yeah.
the game.
like I think so you're never going to get
It's an in-game
referees.
precedent.
Yeah, you're never going to get referees consistent across
Doesn't
the
work like that,
weekend.
though.
No,
It
but it
doesn't,
should.
but it should.
Yeah, like you're never going to get referees consistent across the weekend, but a referee should be consistent within his particular
Game.
game.
I'm just trying to think. What would Daz say? That's what I'm doing right now, right? So no, and obviously I'm the same. I'm like, oh, be consistent, da 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 da. But if we take it from the law downwards, forget what else I've done. I guess what we're trying to say is apply the law consistently. That's what we're trying to say, right?
I understand that, right? Be firm but fair.
And do the
Right.
law the same way every time. I get that.
Right, cool.
So if the ref genuinely, yeah, okay.
But by doing that, here's what he does. If he's like me and Keita saying consistent within the game, within his approach,
Yeah.
at least you can say, right, well, do you know what? He did this here. He also did it here, right?
There can be no
Whether
qualms,
you
innit?
agree with it or not,
Yeah.
he did the same. Okay.
There's less of a beating stick to beat him with, right? If he applies one set of rules here and then another set of rules here, he's opening himself up for
Scrutiny.
scrutiny and critique and harsh criticism, and they're gonna use it against him. They're gonna say, well, you did this and you didn't do this, therefore you weren't following the rules of the law.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And it looked like he got nervous. It looked like he was, I hate saying this about refs, but like he was evening out a bit. So
Yeah,
Liverpool, there were fouls Liverpool should have been given and they weren't.
And he didn't give the penalty straight away. Like watching on TV, you could see it blatantly hit an arm that was out wide, and he didn't give it. Like it wasn't until play stopped and then VAR told him to check.
This whole arm out stuff.
Do it.
I know we'll get to the Arsenal
Let's
game
do the
later,
other one as well. Because
but I mean, that as hard as I'm a little on the fence here, right? His arms in an unnatural position, right? But it's kind of harsh.
yeah.
And if you look at the Saliba one, again, in an unnatural position,
Have you seen what the PGMOL have
but
come
it's
out with
harsh.
today?
What?
Oh,
We'll get to the
Okay,
Arsenal game,
okay.
I'll tell you. You are gonna be fuming because we've talked so much about these apologies. But anyway.
yeah. I think it's harsh. Like the whole handball in the box is it's very
It's harsh, but you know what it is? Yeah?
Wild.
You know what it is? You see where you're the person that's taking the shot or making the pass, right? And that arm stops, the
Yeah.
ball either going in or landing in that spot. You want that penalty.
Yeah.
You want that penalty.
And
But
to be fair, like all the players know the rules now, innit? So
Yeah.
it's kind of on the players. I know it's hard, but to adapt their game
yeah.
where they're not.
But this
if you
unnatural
check
position
like someone
thing,
like
I don't agree with it though.
I get it. I get it.
Like,
I mean,
what do you
if your arms are out here, that's not a natural position.
That's not natural for you, big man.
No, but it's not natural.
But maybe when I slide, I go like this. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's how I'm. Yeah. No, obviously, you got to
I
base
get
it
it.
somewhere.
But I get it. But you can understand the broad brush approach,
I tell you what, though.
right?
I'm not going to lie. No matter what technology you bring in, no matter what you do, handball will always be
A point of
Subjective.
contention.
Yeah,
contested.
it'll be
And I
subjective,
kind of like that. I
Yeah.
kind of like that. Wherever handball you show, there's very few handballs where everyone agrees.
No.
Very, very
true.
few. And those are the ones where men are getting sent off, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
the ones on the line where you try and save it and you try to
Yeah.
those are the ones where actually refs just like, yeah, get off.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
now because you know the rules. If your arm's out, you know it's going to be a handball. But in your true heart of hearts, you know it's not really.
But do you know what they just rest their hat on?
What?
When man are squaring up, they're putting their hands behind their back.
and I hate that.
And when a man they're putting their hands like that, tucking it into their body or behind their back.
Because you can't move as much in it.
Yeah.
So they're just always
rigid.
gonna
when you're
say-
going to
you're
jockey someone,
always-
you should be able to put it helps your stability up.
And they're
People go
always
behind
just going to say, well,
Yeah, that's
And I
fair.
think it makes it worse because when your arms are behind your back, you guys have seen this reaction, and then the ball's about to pass someone because their arms are not in a natural position. They do this kind of funny side movement, and that looks even
shoulders.
more intentional.
I know it does, isn't it?
It looks even worse, but it's because that's not where your arms should have been. It's
Like
not
you're
natural.
twisting into it.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Especially when the defender's tall, it just looks mad. But I guess the point I was making earlier about it was just a steamroll. I mean, that penalty was late on. You guys scored in the 75th minute. So it wasn't a, Everton would probably were at that point thinking, we could make a draw here
Yeah.
possibly. You know?
Yeah. It's hard against 10 men sometimes, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
happens. But yeah, we've got the penalty. I think in terms of the run of play, I think we ended up with like 26 shots in the game or something like that. And so we had enough chances.
How many on target?
And then we came on. Nunes came on, done well for his. I think he got 5 assists this season in the league. All to Salah. Do you want to have a quick chat about Salah?
Yeah, Isaac, you've got this
Our conversation in the
you've
group
got
chat.
this thing about Isaac about Salah. Again, I hear it from different Liverpool fans. There's one Liverpool fan, friend of mine in another group, and he's had a Salah agenda
Since he signed his
since your
contract.
first title.
Oh.
He is not on it. He feels like Salah's greedy. Klopp doesn't. He almost feels about Salah how I think some people are going to feel about Saka in a couple of years. Like, no matter what he does, he can't get subbed. He's been on it for ages. Ages.
Can I go first? So for me, this season.
The defence.
Yeah, I'm here for the defence. Defence of Salah.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Salah hasn't scored in every game that we've played in this season. And the games that he hasn't scored in, if you look at his overall play, he has become much more of a provider in the team than what he has been previously. So
his assists are up.
So his assist numbers are up. And I just think his
Chances created.
all-round performance, yeah, all of that have just risen.
What about expected assists?
Pardon?
Hmm?
I don't do actually. Get out of it. It's what happens in it. And yeah, there are games, and there's been a couple games where he has scored, where he hasn't particularly done much, but has ended up with 1 or 2 goals. But I think if you look at the totality of his season, so we played 9 league games, 2 Europa League games, 11 games. I think he's had maybe like 2 duds. But in those games where he's been a dud, he's either scored or assisted. And I don't mind that being his profile for the season. Like, Salah's like, 30, 31 now. So you're not going to get the dynamism that you had when he first came to the team. To me, it looks like he just adapted his game and it's less kind of...
continuously explosive.
That's it for me. And I'm happy with him. Like, he's got 7 goals and 5 assists in the league or something like
4
that.
assists.
4 assists, like, in 9 games.
Fair. All right, Isaac.
My thing, no, not even. I'm just having a quick look. My thing is this. I love the fact that he's a goal scorer. I love his contribution to the team. You can never take that away. And it's gonna my gripe or my argument is gonna sound like a mad one, right? Why are you mad? He's doing what he's paid to do. My thing is this: the greed you can see. And you see, it's been there for a few seasons.
That's not new.
It's not new. I mean,
mate, when
Sadio Mane
blew
up
was there.
at him. I think it was against Burnley.
Yeah,
I think it away to Burnley, and he blew up at him because of it, right? And don't get me wrong, most prolific goal scorers have that about them, right? I mean, Van Nistelrooy was known to be extremely selfish. He's even admitted it in an interview or two.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's admitted it. There were a few other strikers who had that, and growing up, you always heard strikers, even when you played in teams, strikers always said, it's my job to put the ball in the net. That's it, right? So, fine, fair enough. My gripe just comes from the fact that there are moments where he could look for the pass, he doesn't. Or he could lift his head up and, maybe recycle the play, he doesn't. Or he'll run into dead ends, or, there's so many moments where his hunger and his desire to score can be seen as detrimental to the team.
Yeah, it breaks down play a little bit.
It breaks the play down, right? And Klopp very rarely did or does punish him for it. Especially now when with no Firmino, no money, Salah's untouchable. I know Maddison scored in it as well. Yeah, I know. I saw that.
But I think
there's no one there to contest. When there was the front three and we was in the prime, it was, arguably they could all say, well, no, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy. But for Salah, what helps him is his number of goals, right? And it's just frustrating sometimes. That's all. I think as a fan, just someone watching it, it's frustrating when we go through periods when we're not winning. You know, and we go through periods where, we could have come out of that game with a goal, an extra goal or two. And you look at the moments where he gets overly selfish.
Yeah.
Or even the Everton game, he was hardly involved. And then all of a sudden he gets a penalty, and everyone's talking about, my God, Salah. But bro, if you watch the game,
it wasn't a great game for him, man.
It wasn't a great game.
It wasn't, but you know what I mean?
And a lot of the times the frustration is just you hide behind penalties.
Well, is it hiding?
It is hiding because you've done. I know. The people say, "Well, he's paid to put the ball in the net.
Yeah.
He's done what he's done. He's done what he's paid to do. Fine, fair enough. I understand that. But you want, I think it's that Mourinho effect, right? You want your players involved in all aspects of the game.
Yeah,
Hazard got benched
I
for
totally
not
understand
tracking
what you're
back.
saying, but
Do you understand what I'm saying? So,
but if he continues the trajectory that he's on for a good season.
No, of course.
And I think
I'm not completely mad. I'm just there are just smaller frustrations.
No,
and
and
I
just
think
because
with Mane and Bobby not there, I think he's taken on that mantle of being like a little bit more of a creator.
right.
So-
Well, I was gonna say a little bit less politically correct than that, but you finish.
Yeah, so I just think, like I said before, I think he gets adapted his game a little bit. There are games where he does go missing, but I think overall,
And do you know what the maddest thing is, to your point as well? He'll get in positions where he should shoot and score, and you can see he's making a concerted effort to make the pass, and then it goes wrong.
Yeah,
And it's one of those frustrating things like,
I think there's almost, I feel like there's a bit of a head honcho vibe with him now, right? Because obviously Mane and Firmino, they almost landed and all kind of proved their point at the same time,
Yes.
right? So as much as he scored a lot of goals, etc., it was the Salah and Mane show together.
it's like
Do you know what I mean?
egos, isn't it?
But now, bruv, listen, Nunes, Jota, listen, all you guys, I'm here and you're here.
yeah.
So if I don't pass, I don't care. I'm Salah, innit?
Yeah.
But the decisions I make, I've earned the right to make those decisions. So though you say he's adapted his game, nah, I just think that the hierarchy has changed a little bit. And you can see, there's almost, do you remember like towards the end of Henry's time at Arsenal?
Yeah.
And you see him look at someone and be like, nah, I'm not passing to you. I don't think Salah's that bad yet, but I definitely think there's a
he
difference.
knows he's the top guy.
Yeah, and I
he
definitely
knows
think,
there's 3 spots and he got one of them every week, innit?
And I think that's reflected in his decision making, in what and when he chooses to execute stuff. I think that's reflected now. But I guess overall, it's a good win for you guys, right?
And do you know what? It's one of those problems. It's like they call it what? First world problems, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a striker who's putting up numbers. What are you mad about?
Why
Are you complaining?
Yeah.
But you know,
a lot of teams with a snap.
it is what it is, man.
But yeah, roll on to Forest next week.
I mean, the fixture list is even being kind to you. Anyway, moving on. I mean, that you guys are third in the table, 20 points, just behind Arsenal and City, who are joint on 21 points each. So, yeah, it's hotting up, it's shaping up. Tottenham look like they're gonna win another game.
Just last point. I forgot before we move on. What do you think of the midfield?
Can we talk about Gravenberch, please? Because,
Comfy.
bruv,
And again, the
Annoyingly
age thing, 21.
annoyingly so. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was Everton. Their midfield is not exactly. I mean, Onana, I like Onana a lot.
He needs to move.
He does, because
And
this bleep test midfielder he's in with Decore just covering ground. I think there needs to be a little bit more substance around him. But yeah, he looked good, man. He looked comfortable.
Yeah.
He looked.
Everyone's saying it was too much of a change. But I think the profile of players that they've got in and how well they've kind of settled. Like Gravenberch was his first start, innit? Like he's been there since like August. Kind of, Klopp's like to take his time with, unless they're like a superstar.
Yeah.
Like,
Was it Fabinho when he came? He took time to. Yeah, I remember he took him months.
Yeah, most of the players don't really like generally start straight away, but yeah.
And
So
a lot
both
of them say it's because they're getting used to. Never mind this physicality of the league. It's Klopp's
training.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think our midfield profile is good, and outside of those three, so Mac, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, you still got Jones, Elliott, Bajcetic, Thiago.
Yeah.
On the
Oh
fringes.
yeah, Thiago.
Yeah. So
And Endo.
yeah, and Endo. So
Well, he's faded out quick. What happened?
Who?
Endo.
He was never brought in to be a starter. He's backup.
Yeah, but he looks like he's back up to the backup.
But it don't matter though. Like as long as we remember last year, we didn't have that depth at all.
Was he a loan or a purchase?
No
I purchased 18 million. Like it's even if we
Was it
doesn't
3
do well,
years?
yeah, like it's 18 million
fair
is
enough.
nothing.
And he
fair
knew
enough.
he's what 30, 31?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
And like I say,
fair.
we got Europa League, so
Yeah,
he'll
Little bump
play
in the paycheck from
Yeah.
Bundesliga.
Yeah. And he
play
said,
Europa League, play League Cup, FA Cup.
Mm.
I mean, he left, was it Stuttgart?
Yeah, where he was captain.
Where he was captain. So he knew
Mm.
what he was walking into.
No, fair enough. But yeah, and it looked like as well. I thought Gravenberch would come in and play closest to the defense, but that was still McAllister doing that, picking the
Yeah.
ball up from the centre backs, etc. Which is not where I thought Gravenberch would play for you lot, actually. So
Yeah, that was the rumours. But yeah, like
he's
he
played in
plays.
his actual position. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
he's done
that's
well.
always where he wanted. I think, I'm not saying he's our Wijnaldum replacement,
Mm.
but if you look back to the team when we had Wijnaldum and Hendo,
Mm.
there were two players with legs,
Yeah.
right? And then you had Fabinho.
Mm.
I'm not saying McAllister's Fabinho.
No, I know what you
But
mean. But the structure, he's
You
trying
had
to
a certain
replicate.
structure, style, right? And I think Sobo and Gravenberch will be the legs in
The only-
front of whoever we've bring in.
The only thing I'm thinking about is just the physicality side of it. Like McAllister's not the most physically imposing. So when you come up against certain teams, when
Yeah,
you don't
the
get
Man
to the
City
business
game.
end,
And the next month will be
yeah.
telling.
Because
I think you'll
Rodri,
see a lot of Sobo in that game.
yeah. I think you see, and Gravenberch,
Mm.
yeah.
I think you'll see a lot of legs, a lot of running from them.
Yeah, and depending on how it goes in the end, you might even see him throw an endo to say, listen, just throw yourself about kind of
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah.
Yeah. True. Newcastle.
Mate,
Hey. I mean,
Rolling on.
Palace had a few key players missing. Eze's injured. The key player, the new Zaha. But, man, Newcastle. Ridiculous. I mean, the first goal was a fluke. He didn't mean that. Murphy.
No, not at all.
Never meant it. Another assist for Trippier. But they just when they get in front, the way they play, their defense, they just got it on a lot. They got the consistency there at back four. I mean, Eddie might be doing it, man.
Botman.
No, I think it was Shaw.
Yeah, sure. And I'll tell you right now,
Damn it. Burn.
damn it, bruv.
Like a Lascelles. Lascelles.
Yeah, Lascelles
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in the
yeah.
team.
He's back in the team, yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things, this is really bad. One of the things I wrote here is that the defense has been doing well despite him being back in the team. And I don't mean that
No, but
when I
he-
wrote
but
it,
he
I didn't mean it
dropped out.
disrespectfully.
Like,
But
yeah.
you see now, I'm saying
But he's not up to their level.
he's not
Yeah.
because
He's not.
he's not, right? But it hasn't mattered. He's come in, it hasn't mattered. Clean sheet. They've cracked on. Even Jacob Murphy starting. Again, players that I'm not gonna lie. I'm saying they're not the players that keep you in the top four in the Champions League spots, affecting the game with
Yeah.
flukes.
Well, I think he knows he needs to rotate
Well, he has to.
certain positions. Like, you'd rather Almiron start midweek against, they got Dortmund midweek. You'd rather him start against Dortmund than Crystal Palace. And even though we don't think Murphy's like going to set the world alight,
He's
an
still a
estab-
good player.
Yeah,
though.
he's an established Premiership player. So
He's alright.
Yeah, I know John
He's
don't
a
like
decent player, man.
yeah, he's like a capable player. Like, if he left Newcastle, he'd get another Premiership move. basically.
Easy.
To where?
Mid-table team.
Yeah, like mid-table. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're
So
trying to be
don't
Champions
say
League.
like he's an established
No,
Premiership
But
player.
you
Yeah.
need
No, no.
workers.
No.
Every team needs a worker.
If you're gonna make those changes, with all due respect, you make them against Palace. So
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
that's where Howe's been smart. Prem time, it's all good, but yeah, I don't know. I thought the rotation would kill them. It hasn't. Like you say, kind of Gordon, Wilson, Gordon scored again. It was you that wasn't having him.
Nah, I said after the under-21s he'd have a good season, and I was.
Hold on,
I was
wait.
doubting.
What you say something about him and Harvey Barnes and that?
Mm-hmm.
It was him, innit?
I don't think so.
You sure? So it wasn't you?
No.
I was saying that
No,
he won't keep Barnes on the bench.
To review the tapes, but
I'm gonna have to check.
I've been a Gordon
No,
advocate
I'm asking to the WhatsApp group. I'm sure
since the
it was
121.
you. I'm sure it was you that was saying that.
No.
Are you sure?
But yeah, like Newcastle they've just been quietly getting about their business since that little blip at the start of the season. I think they've scored 24 goals. They scored the most goals in the league
Yeah.
this season. I think they're first in a few other stats. And
I'm
just
coming
glad.
off the bench. Isak coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Livermento coming off the bench. Yo. They stood that grammar.
Guimaraes.
I'm so glad Mark's not here. Guimaraes and Joe Linton, though, they're playing every game.
Yeah.
Twice a week. Most minutes.
Yeah. Tonali didn't play in it. They take him out the firing line a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
That's the rotation.
refuse to believe AC Milan didn't know about this. I refuse to believe it. And to
So
your
what you
point,
saying, that's what he was really crying about.
that's why I was really That's why I was really shocked that they was like, oh look, Tonali's going to Newcastle. I'm sorry, it's not about here's 40 mil and AC Milan were happy to bite his hand off. No,
It was more than, I'm sure it was closer to 70.
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah, it
That's what I'm
weren't cheap,
saying.
bruv. It was a big money
That's
move.
why they were like, listen, we love you too, bro, but see you later. Because you remember, he's so embedded. His dad, I think his dad's an ultra or was close to the ultras. He was so embedded. Palace. I mean, if I look at the table, you know, I'm always on Roy watch. I mean, it's not an absolute disaster. They're about where they should be. They're 11th, 12 points. They've won 2 of their last 6, drawn 2 of their last 6, and lost 2 of their last 6.
It's like
Proper
Palace,
mid-table
isn't it?
form. Yeah, literally.
Yeah. I don't think Palace fans can have a gripe about
No.
how they've been this season. And they've played Arsenal already as well. They
Yeah.
played Newcastle.
And that, like I said, no Eze. And again, with all due respect, you got a front through of Mateta, Edouard, and now you're only going to go so far in your Premiership life.
Yeah. We said it loads of times. They need to upgrade on
I think so.
at least 2 of those 3, to be honest.
Yeah, Will Hughes starting, and then you look at who's coming off the bench. So it's not a squad of known Premiership depth, but we're always keeping them ticking over.
Yeah, the second and third goals were quite sloppy though, like counterish goals.
Yeah,
And in the first half as well, you don't need to kind of pressing on that much when you're 1-0 down in the first half. So
yeah. Half time you're down 3-0.
yeah.
Shocking. I don't care if you're away from home. That's mad. That is absolutely crazy. So I mean, Newcastle, they're 6th now. Obviously, now that start to the season is kind of what's holding them back. But their form in the last 6 games, lost 1 at the beginning of that run, and then won 4, drawn 1. So they're on the march, identical form to Villa. They're 3 points behind Villa. So the table is still early. We've only played 9 games. I mean, Tottenham are playing their 9th game now. But as I've said to you guys in the group, when we get 12 games in, we're about a third of the way through the season. At that point, I'll start looking at the table as taking a bit of shape. When we're sort of 30% in. And then it's about who maintains their level or who drops and lets someone come in from far. And we'll talk a little bit about that because I think Chelsea looks good looks decent on Saturday.
We're going to talk about them now? Or we talk about them
Yeah,
now?
let's do it. I mean, the handball.
Can we talk about the goal first? Madrid.
What, the fluke?
You think it was a fluke?
Of course it
It
was.
was poor goalkeeping, bruv.
You think that was a fluke?
Of course it
It was a poor cross and a poor goalkeeper.
Why do you think it was a fluke?
Because you can see in the replay, I looked to see where he was looking and you can tell where he looked.
He's looked though, and then he's gone. All right, from my point, the angle that I saw today,
Because he was playing against Arsenal, yeah. Go on.
the angle that I saw today, it was. So we had his left side to the shoulder. It was camera facing his left side, right?
Yes.
Right. So,
Same angle, yeah.
Oh, the 2 looks.
yeah. So he knows exactly what I'm looking for. He's had a look
I
to
still
see who's in the
don't think
box.
No, but it's where
Then
he
he's had
looked.
another look at the keeper.
No,
and
he
then
looked-
he's hit it.
He looked at the box again.
Nah, he looked
Okay,
like
even if he
he
meant
looked
it.
at the keeper.
Even if he meant it, proper goalkeeper would have stopped it.
So wow, so you're saying Raya's not a proper
But
goalkeeper?
he's
No,
not
proper goalkeeping.
Yeah.
Not
No,
proper
but he's not
goalkeeper.
expecting, in my eyes, a mishit cross. So his positioning is to intercept a cross. And then I think his positioning is okay.
Excuse me.
But because he's mishit it, that's why he's caught on the back. That's my.
Nah,
that's
but
my
if you
thinking.
I mean,
everyone was
was
like-
Ronaldinho,
Mate.
Seaman.
Yeah.
Shades.
everyone was like, why are you standing there? You're actually your positioning is off, regardless of what you're doing. Either way, you were in a
Regardless of
fucking
a cross
position.
of a shirt.
If it was a normal cross,
He was in no man's land.
yeah. If it was a normal cross, it was a bit tricky for you anyway.
Yeah.
And yes, you're right. You're not expecting a missed cross, but you're supposed to anticipate on one, right? We've seen it enough times. So his goalkeeping coach would have been like, "What were you doing? Why were you there?" So yeah, good for Mudryk.
Is the Raya experiment going well? Is this another call?
On paper, it's going okay. I think in reality, you know me, I don't listen. I'm gonna bring a flashlight for the next episode because you already know how I feel about it, and I just think sometimes he just thinks he's too clever, bruv. I just think he's too clever.
I think if he had signed him before the start of the season, and if Ramsdale wasn't English, there wouldn't be much furore around him.
That's true.
And I think it's just because there's been a bit of media buzz about it.
wait.
Anana got signed before the season, and the hair is not English.
He's just rubbish, isn't it? Like,
No. But I do think the one thing I will say is the other thing is even if he wasn't English, the fact that he was part of the team that has been part of the Arsenal ascendancy and was part of the team that did well last season, to then now come and take that keeper out would always have caused a little bit of a bust. Yes, there's extra 10 or 20% because he's English,
yeah.
but we would have still had the convo.
Yeah, but I think because he played the first 2 or 3 games, didn't it? And then it was like, all right, now you're coming out. I think just any mistake he does make now is going to be like, oh, well,
But my friend made a good point today. I was talking in the group with a fellow Arsenal fan. He's a bit older. He's going to kill me for saying that, but he has slightly different views. And he says there's even an interview he recorded where Ramsdale said, "There's things Arteta wants me to do, and there's things I'm comfortable doing." So we made a bit of a negotiation. And Arteta don't negotiate, innit? Is his way or the highway. So that says to me that actually Arteta said, okay, cool. You will do what you feel comfortable with to reduce the risk of errors. But then when a keeper becomes available who is comfortable with doing everything I want him to do, then I'm going to go and get him.
Yeah.
Now, how he's actually executing that and how he's playing that might not be working out, but I can still see the rationale of why Arteta went to get him. Do you know what I mean? But the mistake that Ramsdale made against Southampton last season, that's what you did against Chelsea, but you saved yourself. But it's what you did against Chelsea, where you gave the ball to Cole Palmer. Yeah. So, but the other thing is we have to remember, he might be a good goalkeeper, whatever. He's coming from Brentford. Almost all of these games are the biggest games he's played in so far in his Prem career. Like they're all big games because
pressure-wise.
Yeah, we're going for the title, etc. So he's gonna have to get used to that. I think he still plays in the Champions League.
Yeah, apparently you said he is.
Yeah, I think he still plays in the Champions League. But if he doesn't back up his ideas, I can see Ramsdale being back in the first team by end of November. No joke.
Yeah, pressure. Yeah,
because you can't risk it. He makes a mistake and costs you. Those mistakes, Ramsdale, they cost us at least later on, March, April, May, when he's already got a lot in the bank. If you're doing that now in October, you don't have enough credit in the bank.
Is this Joe Hart part 2?
No, but who's Joe Hart? Ramsdale. Yeah. No, only.
Nah, because Ramsdale's still around, isn't it? Hart was gone.
No. And the other thing is, the other thing is,
Edison kept on the bench.
Another thing is, who came in? Edison came straight in, innit?
Nah,
Claudio
Bravo.
Claudio Bravo came in and I was doing 1-2s in the 6-yard box. And everyone was like, oh. I mean, they had a stinker from a goalkeeper point of view.
Yeah.
But at least he immediately came in and did what he was doing. So Raya has to make it a Joe Hart part 2. Otherwise, Ramsdale will be back in.
Yeah.
He'll be back in.
But on the game, though, was it Chelsea being really good, Arsenal being really bad? Like, I know I asked the question in the group.
I think
it's both. Because even so what was wrong? What did I say is the issue with Arsenal? We were playing moving the ball too slowly. We're moving the ball too slowly, and whatever you want to say about Chelsea and their players going forward, etc. I think we've said it on here a couple of times. They have looked good. They've looked more organised. It's a Pochettino team. At some point, they were gonna
click a little.
Yeah, all of that stuff was gonna happen. So if you're not moving the ball around quick enough and the movements are there quick enough, you're not gonna get anywhere.
No.
So it was just too slow, too laboured. sometimes would get the ball out to Martinelli, but it was so slow. And then that next pass was on. Bruv, they've fallen back into formation. They've covered their spaces. You know, they've kept the right distance between midfield and the back four. So it was just too slow. But then you still have to execute your plan well so that when Arsenal are still playing too slow, they still can't do what they need to do. They still can't penetrate, etc. So I think Chelsea played well. They clearly had a plan. They used it well. And it wasn't a defensive plan either. You know, they as you saw, you know, they attacked a couple of times, had a couple of chances. They just don't have that presence up front. They just don't have that.
Yeah, that's their issue. Like, if they had a number 9, like a solid number 9, I think they would be.
To be honest, I think Jackson, you know, he buys composure off Amazon or something. Then he's actually going to be a problem. But they didn't start with him. But yeah, you know, Raheem was doing enjoyment. Cole Palmer was doing enjoyment. He looked good.
Cola DJ Palmer.
We say? Oh, mate. Gusto was having an all right game. I think he cracked a bit second half. And then second half, you kind of see what we should have been doing. I think Declan Rice was good for most of the game. Sorry, the other thing as well, Chelsea came, you know that old school when people say you're playing Arsenal, get stuck into them. That's what they did. And the only people that are really giving it back were the usual guys. The two centre-backs, they love a wrestle, them two, flipping hell.
Rice gets stuck in.
Declan Rice, that was it really. Everyone else was just getting moved to and complaining, running around on the floor, blah, blah, blah. Just like, guys, come on, man. So they did all the structural stuff, did all the hard work, and were physical. Second half, moved them the ball quickly. Different ball game. Rice continues. They step up and step into it.
Is the light shining on your captain? A little piece.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we've been having this ongoing thing with Daz and another member of our football group for some time. And I'm not going to lie. Martin, you're not helping me at the moment, mate. Do you know what I mean? I thought he wasn't playing that well, but I had to go check the starting lineup.
Yeah, like it was interesting. Like you said, you're moving the ball slowly, etc. And Chelsea had a game plan, but it just seems like even when he had time and space on the ball, either his execution was wrong, or it's the wrong option.
Yeah, so more accurately, the movement of the ball wasn't quick enough, and then the movement from the team, the rotations and all that, they were just you know what I mean. So someone's picking up the ball, it's got to him slow already, and then you guys aren't doing the second or third thing after.
Oh, so this is my thing, right?
I know what you're going to say, yeah.
When the ball comes to you, you should already have a picture in your head about what you're going to do, right? And if you look up and the picture's not there, you change the picture, right? But like exactly like you said, if the ball comes into me slowly, which kills my picture, and then I now have to paint a new picture and the team around me are not giving me the tools to paint with, what do you want me to do? And if it's not my style, if I'm not a ball carrier, if I'm not a Modric, or if I'm not a David Silva who's going to dribble around, or Santi Cazorla. I'm going to pick the ball up. I'm going to dribble. If my game is to pass and move or find a killer pass and no one's making the movement, what do you want me to do?
No, I agreed. I agree. That's why I'm not on him as much as everyone else is. But there is an element of you're the captain, you're in the middle of the field. There's almost a, and I hate this term, with every fibre of my being, take the game by the scruff of its neck.
but if that's not who I am.
No, I agree. But to Keith's point, then what you do execute needs to be at the normal level that you do.
Yeah.
So even if the pass is a regressive pass, I want you to pass forward, but it's a regressive pass, and you execute that well, fine. When you're doing stuff and it's not even executed at a normal level of consistency, that's a you thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Some wayward passes, poor decision making, etc. So I just think he's out of form. I don't think it's a disaster.
I agree.
And that's why you spend the money. And that's why you spend the money. So
I think
Rice
he's a high level player.
Yeah.
I just think, again, they brought Rice in. I still think you need someone else with legs next to him. Right? So Liverpool.
Someone like Partey who doesn't get injured every week.
Basically. Basically. Right?
Yeah.
Someone like Partey, so even Granit Xhaka, if you'd have kept in there, you'd have had Rice, Xhaka, and then Ødegaard maybe sit in front, or Rice next to Ødegaard, and then allow him to just do the attacking side of the cam role, right? The 10 role. I think you'd see more from him.
I think it's interesting. Yesterday he went with the whole Jorginho, Ødegaard, and then Rice in the kind of that. I was gonna say left 8, but to be honest, he was up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
Whereas when we saw it kind of start, it was Rice, Ødegaard, and then Vieira or Havertz. It was interesting. He said Havertz, Vieira. Nope, not you two, and he went with that.
Right.
For me, Jorginho, again, he was one of the biggest culprits of the pace of the game being a bit too slow. He was one of the biggest culprits of that.
He shouldn't be a starter. And I think with Ødegaard, he's kind of paying for his success of last season. Like, I don't think anyone would have expected the numbers he put. Like, he got double figures goals and assists last year, didn't he?
No, I'm not having that, man.
No, I think you kind of
Because
much
but
like
that's the nature of the game. You set that standard, so live up to it. All the people that we talk about
always,
level,
but that's not always your standard, though, innit? Like, if you throw it back to like, who that striker for Bolton, the black guy?
Nah, you're right, bro.
No, Michael Ricketts.
Yeah,
he had a phenomenal season, and then everyone would be like, "Oh,
Ricketts,
why is he not scoring these goals again?"
Listen. Yeah.
But that's the point I'm trying to make.
You're gonna start talking about J-Lo Samuel next.
I will never, ever, ever talk about Isaac being the worst one out of you two. Still, that you see that there what you just did there. I see you.
I'm not.
I see you.
I'm not a young guy, man. I've been around.
No, that agenda point was mad. But the reason why it doesn't apply here is, I guess we know the Ødegaard ceiling is high. You know, generational talent, whole Real Madrid thing, etc. So last season wasn't oh my God, that's a superlative season almost out of the blue. That was like, okay, you're finally blossoming into the player that everyone said you were going to be. You kind of need to kick on from there. I'm not saying...
Consistency.
Yeah, I'm not saying let's have the same season, numbers-wise, as last season for it to be progressive, but he definitely needs to show that same level of performance. And that's what, when you're becoming a top player, you do that every year. Year in,
so even without the goals or assists, you want to see that kind of...
Yeah. Well, no, for him, I think the assists always have to be thereabouts, right? Goals today, if you don't score goals, you're useless apparently, right? In today's game. So does he need to get double figures in both again? If he wants to be known as one of the Prem greats, yes. Yeah. But just as a top player that helps his team win the league,
no, because not everyone does it, innit? Like,
he's I think assists have to be close to double figures, if not there.
That's for me, his consistency in terms of, all right, cool, you might not have a great striker in front of you to play with, but your chances created should be high. Even if they're not finishing, you should either be getting one or the other. You should have a high amount of chances created, or if they're converting, then you should have a high level of number of assists. And I think for me, his consistency in that end needs to raise up.
Yeah.
A top team like Arsenal, he should be your KDB. He should be your whoever it is, your Ozil. He should be that for you.
Yeah.
Right?
So to your point about he's a victim of his own success, I think only in the sense of that he set a standard, not even just numbers-wise, just his influences on the games he plays. Yeah, and that's fine. That should be something he lives with. So look, I think it's just a bit of dip of form, and it kind of shows where we are, that even with his dip in form, we're still getting results. I think we're still unbeaten in the league. So yeah, lights is on. The general argument I'm hearing colloquially is Maddison or Ødegaard. I don't even think that's a combo, because it's taken Maddison until he was 27, 28 to get certain recognition. This guy's been doing that since he was 22, 23.
And I'm sorry, but you put Ødegaard in Maddison's position, he balls out.
Yeah, it's a different
the way the team's set up, it's set up for Maddison to have fun.
Yeah.
He's working with a striker that knows how to link up, a top link up man. Yeah. And he's got other pieces. He's got Basuma and Saad doing the legwork right behind him.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ødegaard's got a striker that's picking up the ball deeper than him. I'm watching the game, Chelsea, and he's picking up the ball off the left back. Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing? And then he breaks the lines with a pass. Martinelli's got the ball, so we're attacking forward. And where he's supposed to be, there's a massive gap.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
This is what I say.
He does my head in, man.
Yeah. I do think Arsenal should have had a penalty, though.
Well, sorry, coming on to the... Wait, hold on.
Okay.
So what are you saying about the penny, Saliba?
The hand...
the handball.
It's harsh, but it's a penny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's harsh, but...
My head has been on target, bro.
If his arms are down here...
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you can't give.
But that's my point. When you're going for heading like that, I'm even doing it now naturally.
But why are you heading the ball with your hands here?
No, but I'm going for momentum. I'm going like that.
He was caught off guard. Like, if you look at his positioning, his positioning wasn't right to defend the cross. So he was kind of like flailing a little bit to kind of try and get ahead of.
I reckon by the time it comes to, because remember he's in the process of like kind of using that leverage, right? I think by the time if the ball had travelled, he gets ahead of it. His arms are not even up there. He's in the process of doing that. You know, like when you get to jump.
If Mudrik doesn't head the ball, then it doesn't.
The problem
go
is,
the arm,
if I'm heading that ball, because he doesn't know. My thing is, he doesn't know the ball is going to get headed there with. So his arm's not up there.
The intent is not to hand ball. I don't think that's the question. I just think the body position, which is where it's always going to be.
Okay. The reason why I thought it was a handball,
it's always going to be hands in the air.
It's on target.
Yeah, it wasn't going in. It was on target. It was
on target.
It never got in.
You connect the header like that, and the man's hands in the way, arms in the way. If I'm the attacker team, and I'm not getting that. That is.
I'm not going to lie. I jumped into the player.
Yeah, and it took them a while because there wasn't a break in play, was there? So like the ball of.
PGMO.
They were like passing it about, but they were like, do we go full attack?
And then even when they got to the Chelsea team, they still didn't kick it out straight away. And then I think someone went down.
Chelsea worked it back out and then, went out for a throw-in.
So what did they say?
Well, so firstly, they said that Arsenal should have had a penalty.
Yep, I agree with that.
They
all these apologies need to stop, by the way.
I agree.
Pointless, isn't it?
Just stop it. Just stop it.
And then, secondly, there was a little bit of contention between the officials about the handball. Because apparently the on-field team felt that it was too close to call it handball. Like, literally, there was nothing he could do about it. It was so close, it wasn't intentional.
I can see that.
Or he couldn't get his arm out. It was just momentum.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like, no, it sort of is what it is. So there's...
So this then goes back to the whole rules and the law.
But that's interesting though, because he got sent to the screen, didn't he, the referee?
Yeah.
So if he felt that on the pitch and saw the replay,
why didn't he? He had the power
he could
to say, no, I'm still not giving it.
And it's interesting because there's this thing where they say if you go to the screen, more often than not,
I've only ever seen it.
Yeah.
The referee disagree once.
Yeah, I agree.
Once.
Yeah, I agree. We didn't recommend a review. So yeah, I think it's got to stop. You know, it's really, really, really got to stop. It almost got to the point where I'm like, you know what? Howard Webb needs to be in the VAR every match day.
These apologies are almost like a spit in the face. Man.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just like, listen, they might as well just release that meme. It is what it is. And done. Because I'd rather you just say, I'd rather you just say, do you know what? It's done.
Yeah.
And this is when you start doing that football fan like crystal ball thing where you say, well, you get that penalty, you score it, it's 2-2, and the momentum's with you. And then maybe you get that one that's a 3-2, etc. But
can I just say, just off that, I hate this. I was driving the other day and I was listening to TalkSport and they was doing a bit about the table, what the table would look like if VAR didn't exist. That is a crock of nonsense, right? And I'll tell you why it's a crock of nonsense. Because, I mean, if the VAR goes the other way and there's no penalty given, who's to say that they don't score anyway 10 minutes? Do you know what I mean? And it does end up happening that way anyway. Like, it's just all, that's just a gripe, a pet peeve.
No, it's full on. So again, we didn't lose a point, but, you know, we win that game and then at the top, we level on games with City, but the advantage is 2 points clear. You need every points advantage you can get against them. But yeah.
Well, like we said, like 2-3 years ago, if you got a point at Stamford Bridge, you wouldn't sniff it.
It's not 2-3 years ago, though.
But my next point was going into the game. We said last week that we'd be surprised if Arsenal didn't come away with 3 points.
Yeah, and I said to you,
I said Chelsea would win.
Yeah, of course we know.
I said Chelsea 2-1.
Yeah, of course we know what you mean.
And when it was 2-1, I was laughing.
I told you Sanchez is not a good goalkeeper, man. You said I wanted him.
Did you see him coming to clean out punch the ball and took out 2 players?
Yeah, that was the penalty they should have had, didn't it? Yeah, so that was the penalty. And then, to be fair, Rice's finish, very good. I think it was intentional as well, the way he got it away from the keeper for when Sanchez.
Trossard's one though.
Great
Perfect
ball from Saka.
No, great ball, but the finish.
Oh yeah, very good.
Well, keeper.
Yeah, but he's not a
Keeper
good,
should have
he's not-
saved that.
He's not a good goalkeeper. Like,
Like the
Or
ball
I've got
literally went underneath his
something to
armpit.
it. Yeah, he should have saved that. I've got
he's
something
not,
to
he's
it.
not their
It
levels.
was a good finish. In
I mean,
for one
Alf
aspect.
will probably get onto us for saying it so flippantly, but I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just say, Saka, man, I think you give the guy a rest. I know it's easy for me to say it.
Well, you just said
But
he
you
played a
could-
very important part in us drawing the game.
Okay.
and then said rest him.
Okay, aside from that, he was pretty non-existent, and it's rare that he does have non-existent games. But you can
But then
see
he was
over
existent in a point that was crucial to the game.
That boy tired.
that's
boss.
fine. But you can see over the last kind of
What's that life, innit? Aye.
yeah, that was a good one. Still.
That was a good one, yeah.
Yeah, in the last 6 weeks, you can just see that he just
They're burning him out.
Yeah, man,
And I
burn
can't
out,
remember
man.
who I was having
Like-
this conversation with. I do, and they listen to this, so they'll probably laugh about this. But I was having in another group, football group that I'm in, and we was talking about like overusage of players, and more specifically around Bellingham, and then I brought up Saka, or probably someone else did, and then we was just talking about players that got burnt out from overusage so early. I mean, you look at Rooney's decline.
yeah.
Once he hit almost hit 30. Owen done his
Yeah.
knee.
Even so there was
02.
a graphic I saw. I was meant to share it in our group of the most minutes played
I've
of
seen that.
players but under the age of 24.
I
And
think Saka and Bellingham
Hazard
were-
was top. No, they weren't even in it because it was like at the age of
But
24.
I've seen a more recent
yeah,
one.
and like the one I saw, Hazard was top with like
Saka got far away.
24,000
Yeah, that's
minutes.
it. And they brought
Yeah,
up Hazard and what he did in the French league.
Yeah.
And,
But I think it's different now because obviously the ability of some players at a younger level is very high. So it's like if they're good enough, you play in it kind of thing. And it's how do you manage someone starting out so young to have a consistently high career? And like
I don't agree.
you're in
why
the
don't you agree?
you're in the age of kind of modern, not medicine. What's the word?
Sports science.
Yeah, in
Sports
terms
science
of-
era.
to help. Well, it's kind of modern. It is modern medicine, isn't it? Horse percent in them things there to help with that, innit?
They got rid of the acupuncture.
Yeah, like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you couldn't start kicking ball at 16 and say,
No, but guys did though.
36.
That's what I'm saying. People did. People made their debuts
But they
people
didn't-
have always made debuts at a young age.
No, but
always.
to maintain a high level
Yeah, but
until
they
you're
weren't-
36, 37.
Yeah.
That never really happened, didn't it? Where you could potentially seen that more.
Why? So two things for me. Why do we have this expectation that you have to maintain this high level to 36, 37? No one's apart from the one alien.
Because of the levels that they're showing. Like if you look at Bellingham, Michael Owen, they weren't just average players. They were top players.
No. But what I'm saying is, yeah, if you don't do that onto your mid-30s, we say you burnt out. But if the guy
No.
started at
But
16,
a lot of them burn out by 25, 26.
you say a lot of them. Every time I have this conversation, you're going all the way back to Michael Owen. That was 15 years ago. That was 15, 20 years ago. We can't name 10. Give me 10. Give me 10 burnouts. 10. 10 players. Go.
10
Okay.
players that burn out.
Yeah.
Eden
Hazard,
Hazard.
Rooney.
Rooney.
How's that didn't burn out? He had an injury. That was a clear injury.
Yeah, but that's from starting so young. though.
We even said the season before he did a madness before he went to Real.
yeah, but
then he got
can't you
injured
say
and
that's
he
because
didn't.
he started so young and his body couldn't recover?
How do we know
Because
that?
No, but I'm just saying like, why is
He's
that
got
not
a
a
point.
factor? Like,
No,
why
I'm not saying it's not a factor, but we don't know it's the factor. We're listing him in the burnout category. The reason we've been told by the people that looked at him is that
but
he didn't
injury's
recover
not
from
part
his.
of burnout in terms of your body's shut down. Your body isn't able to recover.
He broke his
well.
ankle.
But as we said, lots of people break
It wasn't
break
a
their
muscle
ankles.
fatigue or
But
Owen. Maybe we talk about Owen. His
but in
hamstring
this
just
day and
said-
age,
And his knee.
in this day and age, an ankle break is not a career-ending injury
No.
like it used to be.
No, but we don't know the specifics of his ankle break. We've had two in recent history.
Because he's been
Cazorla
playing
and him.
since he was 16.
Oh, but Cazorla had the same.
Who?
Santi Cazorla. It was the same. It was a similar injury. To the point where he had to step down levels.
Aaron Ramsey.
That one was different. That wasn't the same injury. I'll look into it. That wasn't the same injury. That one was more of
That was a broken and dislocated ankle.
I think it was more dislocation than break. But okay, so Hazard, go on. 10. I want 10 burnouts.
10
5.
burnouts.
I'll give you
10
5.
top level burnouts.
Give me 5.
10 top level burnouts.
Yeah. Yeah.
From what era?
In the lot. Well, this is gonna prove my point.
Okay.
Just give me any 10 you got.
Owen,
Yeah.
Ronaldo,
Which Ronaldo?
1-9. Come on.
Wow.
Look how early he done his knees.
Bro, that was burnout.
He was playing for PSV at 17.
It's not just
Week in, week out.
games that you play that burn you out. Like,
I
it's
think
your body shutting down, isn't it?
I think we need a
A
definition
criteria.
of
Okay,
the burnout.
do you know what?
Because if when you watch the
I want to
documentary,
discuss this one really
Yeah,
properly
because
because I think
you can
there's
say,
something there.
Because Milner has just rolled out like when he was 17.
exactly.
But that's not
16.
But I'm saying like he never really had a significant injury. Like
And let's be honest, Milner was never that guy in that sense. He wasn't.
but he
no,
played,
he
he
wasn't-
played high. He played high level for
No, he's
20
played high
plus
level
years.
weight, man. But we're not talking about someone who's expected to give a certain level of output every game. No team is relying on him to win them games. Some of the guys you're talking about, that is very true. Owen was the main goal threat, speedy player. Hazard, Saka.
I just think it's all a
'Cause
combination factor in it.
When you watch the R9 documentary, none of the medical people that are on there talk about burnout. They say the fact that he had a recurrent knee injury. That was the issue. Surgery didn't go well, etc., etc. That's in the doc.
Mm.
No one says,
Yeah.
"Oh, he played too many games by this age." So why are we sitting there putting that in the burnout category?
I just think if you start at a young age, you're susceptible to
To what?
burnout and recovering from certain injuries.
So
Taking longer.
is it a risk?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. But I guess this convo always comes up like there are loads of examples, and people always you end up talking about players over a 20-year span. Then that's not that many people.
I'm sure there'll be more. But
But you can't.
I'm coming back to this topic.
But the
You
fact
know
that you
me
have to go
already.
and do, but
You
the
know
fact,
me
that
already.
the fact that you have to go and do research partially proves my point.
You have to do research about all your points. We're not brilliant idiots.
Oh, hey, don't do that. But then you still raised it now, though.
No, because it's a point. It's a relevant point to Saka. As you can see, he's starting to pick up injuries.
So look,
and knocks.
I think
He had the most minutes of anyone under 21, but I think it was either him or Bellingham had the most minutes of anyone under 21 last season.
82
Look,
consecutive games?
whether we like it or not,
It's a lot, man.
anyone that comes through his age and has the impact he has and is as important to the teams he plays in both international and club.
He's gonna play.
Look at Neymar.
Historically, they play.
Look at Neymar.
What about Neymar?
Bruv, all the knocks that he's getting. You think this injury was just twisting money on a poor surface, bro?
Yeah, but you even said it
This is-
knocks. You said knocks. The tackles him and he receives, etc. And he still played 700 career games, bro. He's not like this guy's only played 5. I looked the other day, he's played late 600 career games, Neymar. So that's what I'm saying.
It's fine. Keep playing Saka, man.
No.
Burn him out.
The point I was going to say is, no.
Excuse us for being concerned.
No, the point I was going to make is that when you look at players
I'm
of that
coming back
caliber
to
and
this.
that ilk, they all play a lot of games. Like,
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
unless they get injured. So the fatigue thing then comes in when his performance level is dropping. So if he can't maintain it, again, actual fatigue, etc.
But do you risk it hoping for that one moment?
No.
Again. And it was a good moment.
Me as
like,
the
in the game,
unqualified Arsenal fan sitting in the podcast studio, I personally wouldn't. But if I think about it objectively, if you're Arteta, right, that game against Chelsea, you don't start Saka,
yeah, you have to. Like, it's just how the games have lined
and then
up,
the
innit?
game doesn't go the
Yeah.
way you want it to. He wasn't expecting to be 2-0 down, right? If the game goes the way he's expecting, then maybe Saka only plays 60 minutes. Or
He
50
never
minutes.
takes off Saka.
No,
Do you know who has the most minutes?
Well, the youngsters.
Go on.
I'm just asking. Get a guess.
I would have said Saka.
What age? No, just
20 and under.
20 and under.
Let's just say 21 and under.
21 and in Europe and the UK?
Europe.
Europe.
Mm.
No,
I'm
it
always
can't
coming
be, can't be
Vinga.
Gavi or
No.
Vinicius?
Pedri.
No.
Who?
Saliba.
How old is he?
I remember he was playing on his loans, innit?
Yes.
Yeah, he was playing.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. No one's asking about Saliba's burnout.
True.
Oh,
Fair
anyway,
enough.
Different for
I'm coming back. To
yeah,
it.
you do
Fair
that.
enough.
You do that. Innit? You do that. But and I think the other point is it speaks to a bit of a problem in Arsenal squad because the drop off from Saka to whoever else plays on the right is massive. Which is why, if you remember at the time, I said Diaby is someone I would have been happy with, and that's where Pepe not being useful or leaving, etc. You're seeing that now.
Why not? I mean, come on. Surely he's
Again, his numbers aren't that horrific. He was getting 10 goals a season.
Yeah,
I would take them 10 goals now.
Pre-season, just give him a chance, innit?
Yeah, but when you watch him play in the games, it's so dire. He slows up the game. He will then turn around and pass the ball back to the right back. He's not putting the left back under constant pressure like Saka. He's just not doing it. He's a counter-attacking player. You know, the same way he plays the same issue. It reminds me a little bit of Jadon Sancho, actually. So that, you know, when we talk about that, when Diaby was going to Villa, I was like, that's the kind of signing where 50 mil and someone that he might not be as good as Saka, but he will play in the same vein. He will still be a problem for that defense, etc. But obviously, we spend the money elsewhere. Havertz, which the experiment is not paying off, if you ask me, and then Rice, etc. So, yes, need to give Saka a rest. But if you're Arteta, I don't know who you rest him for. Now, you gave Reece Nelson a new contract. He's on a lot of money. That should be the answer.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Yeah.
But he's more left side anyway. He's more about coming off the left than the right.
Right, I hate.
I know.
Play, but it doesn't matter which side.
I agree.
Play
I
football,
agree.
innit?
I agree. All right. Aston Villa, West Ham. Emery.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this game. Like, both playing pretty good football. Yeah,
Villa.
looking
West
forward
Ham.
to.
I wasn't expecting them to get absolutely mullered like this, but 4-1. It was only 1-0 at halftime as well. So it seemed like the game was the closer favourite.
Yeah, it was 2-1 at one point as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it back.
And then
2-1.
couple of tasty goals. When you watch the clips and stuff, it's fine. There's someone sent me the Watkins goal.
I was waiting for you to say that.
And
He
said, "What?"
smashed it.
He's like,
smashed it.
And he's like, watch Zuba. Watch how he is like dying to just get back and keep up. To be fair, he gets back there, but he's not close enough.
And then,
But he's so tired getting back.
Yeah,
he's then defending. Have you seen that clip of Tomori defending against Madison at England training?
Yeah.
Right. Now that Tomori put on an excellent show of standing your attacker up, jockeying, right? Because I was watching the
he looked
clip.
like he was running for his life.
Zuma, when he started facing him, he looked so laboured.
It was just like he was happy to be there,
Yeah.
but he couldn't function because he was running from the halfway
Watkins
line.
just said, boom, smash.
Yeah, but Watkins has done well, man.
On the
like,
form of his life.
yeah, like the
I
first
apologise, Mr. Watkins. I apologise.
Goal, the first goal he set up Diaz in my fantasy team.
Yeah.
And it's a good strike. I think Diaz has kind of gone under. No, he's not Diaz.
Who's Diaz,
I was probably sitting there thinking, when I'm running through mentally, I'm running through this.
It's a good job I called myself.
I am looking at the lineup right now.
I was about to say I was going to wait for you because that's who I thought. Because I was thinking, I'm sure Douglas Luiz scored the first one.
No, you know what it was? I was looking at Luiz.
Diaz,
I was looking at Luiz's name thinking, maybe I've got his first name wrong. I'm like, his name's not Diaz Luiz. So I was just about to say,
he's gone a little bit unstated this season. Like he's been quite consistent for.
Yo, the Brazilians are balling out,
man.
Paqueta, Douglas, Bruno, Joelinton.
Yeah,
they're balling out, bro.
Yeah, then they get the penalty, 2-0. Bowen scores in good form as well. I think he scored in first five away games, which is like a record or something like that. And then who scored the third? Did McGinn?
Yeah, McGinn had an assist. Luis scored 2.
Who scored the third one?
Was it
Bailey. The
Bailey,
Bailey goal, yeah.
Was the Bailey the
goal?
third one?
Yeah.
That was a nice goal. That
No, it was
side.
Watkins and Bailey, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
That
Watkins' third goal, but the last 2 goals were very good.
Right, listen. I don't know where that defender was going.
Well, where he's still going.
I don't know where
Even
he
then, after
was
he chopped in,
going
that finish was good. Top bins.
or what he was looking for, but that wasn't it.
I mean, whenever managers are let go, there's always a thing of, oh yeah, statistically, changing your manager doesn't make a difference. They end up in the same place. Listen, yeah? Where Emery has taken Villa from where Gerrard left him with him
Are we really surprised though?
we're not surprised, but
Because if you compare Villa to Villarreal, they're the same vein. In a
But
sense, they're not top teams.
yeah,
They're not relegation fodder.
yeah,
They're kind of in between, and he done well
yeah.
with them.
True.
And Sevilla's right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, same thing. They're not top level teams.
Yeah.
They're not fodder, but Unai Emery comes in and does well with them.
But I also think that he's changed his style a little bit. Villa a little bit more pleasing to watch than some of those teams you've mentioned. He's taking advantage of, whether it's the transfer budget he's got here, etc.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I think it goes back to like the media and his treatment at
Yes.
Arsenal, innit?
yes,
Like
Joking.
Arsenal it's a very big job for him. Like it was a bit of a jump.
well,
He wasn't awful.
No,
at
he was
Arsenal.
post PSG though. The Arsenal job, no?
No, I
Yeah,
thought he
it
was.
was.
I thought they got him
Arsenal
as
job
well,
was
so-
post PSG, bro.
Okay, go
I
on.
mean, and even then, he didn't really do well with PSG,
Yeah.
considering.
Uh,
He didn't set the world alight.
no,
by their
but-
standards.
no,
Yeah, but they're just
let's
harsh,
be
innit?
honest. So he won the league, didn't he?
I mean, they're expected
No, wait.
to
I
win.
know. And he was the manager. He turned in that season. That's when the Barcelona did that turnaround on them, no? Wasn't he the manager then?
Was he?
He was a manager.
Yeah.
Sergio
I'm not sure.
Roberto got that goal.
Yeah, he was the manager then. So it's Barca. That was a freak thing. Otherwise, wasn't that semi-final of the Champions League? Yeah. So from coming from Villarreal Sevilla, he was second, literally minutes away from taking him to Champions League final. He did relatively well, PSG.
Yeah.
He relatively well.
I
He's got
genuinely-
further than most PSG
Yeah.
managers.
I think
It's
he's
good
a
to see him
really
getting-
good manager.
Yeah, it's good to see him getting
I think-
recognition now because of that
yeah.
Arsenal stint. It's
And
like,
people not taking the piss out of his accent and all that kind of stuff.
I just think he's a really good manager, and you're just seeing it.
Yeah,
he's
and I think
come in.
I think he's settled. He's settled on his defense. I think it's going to be tough for. It should be tough for Mings to come back in. They've been doing well. He will come straight back in, of course. But
He won't.
it should
he
be
might
tough.
do because
to-
he was playing well in it. Like,
Yeah,
I know
he's
we
the
kind of get
captain.
onto him. Yeah,
I don't
Did he give him
think-
back the
yeah,
captaincy?
he declared the club captain.
Yeah, he gave him back the captaincy. And Matty Cash has been on
Yeah.
stuff.
Fire.
On stuff.
Really good.
Zaniolo was clearly all right to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, they took a
He's
different
kind of-
stance. He took a different stance to.
gone under the radar in
Yeah,
this whole
yeah.
thing, innit?
He took a different. They took a different stance to Newcastle.
See no evil, hear no evil,
Obviously,
innit?
Louise. I think Louise, one of those players. Since City moved him on, everyone's kind of. It's been talks about Arsenal wanted him, other top teams have wanted him, but he's just kind of been a mainstay there. I think they've got a really settled 11 now, and then he wheels out Bailey and Yuri Tillemans later in the game. They just can't seem to buy a start. Those two.
I think Douglas Luiz will be a player, like you said earlier about Alvarez. One of the big Spanish teams will come from.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, he's only 25 still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh wow! I thought he was older than that.
Nope.
yeah. I don't think West Ham can be too disheartened as well. Like,
Why not?
just considering how Villa are playing,
No.
and
4-1 is still a drubbing, man. That's a drubbing.
yeah, no, it's a job, but it wasn't really a 4-1 game, to be honest. Like, and we mentioned it time and time again. They need a top striker like Antonio. If he's not
30 goals
like,
a season, Antonio, yeah.
if he's not in the game doing his physicality and stuff,
Yeah,
you
he's
get
no
nothing.
effect.
You get nothing from him.
But is this where the flexibility conversation comes in? Because a game like this, these guys play with a high line, etc. Isn't the kind of game where you start Kudus and let him be a threat with both? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he came on too late. To be
Yeah.
honest, yeah.
Isn't that where you start tweaking things a little bit? I know he's got his settled side and been doing well, but you kind of got this three behind Antonio, which is Souček, Paqueta, and Bowen. Only one of those is really joining the attack with pace. So there's almost a solidity there you're trying to have.
Yeah, they need.
You got to
upgrade on
cause
Souček.
Villa more problems there.
Yeah. I know he's got a few goals this season and assists, but Souček, you need to upgrade on him as well.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought he needed to go before all of this, but he's kept his place with his performance, etc. And then you got the Ward-Prowse and Alvarez, and whenever I see Alvarez, he's always on stuff. That was a very good signing. So yeah, Villa march on again. I mean, they're 1 point behind. They were 1 point behind Tottenham at the start of this evening. So they're in the right place, man. I think it's shaping up. It's shaping up. I said, I'm only I'm laughing because I said it's shaping up, then I saw Manchester United in 8th. Sorry. Yeah. So, Villa march on. So, expectations-wise, I mean, if he gets top 6,
Massive.
Fantastic.
yes, I mean, it's
I think he will.
Yeah?
I think he will.
And
And then I think
expensive
he'll
view.
take them into the Europa and he'll probably go
Pretty
semi-final.
far. Because they'll invest. Those owners, they look like they'll spend when
And he's a
when they need to.
specialist in the Europa League.
Yeah,
I think he
yeah,
will
yeah.
take them far.
So
At the expense of who though?
No, you're about to say no Newcastle or
No, Newcastle
Newcastle.
are 6th. So I said top
Newcastle,
6.
Newcastle 6.
Yeah,
Oh,
Newcastle are 6th. Brighton are 7th. Manchester United 8th.
Yeah, I could see that top 6 staying as it is, to be honest.
Newcastle,
not in that
Brighton,
particular
and
order.
doesn't get Europa.
I think if we get that extra
Extra
Champions
spot.
League place, then we don't get that other Europa space.
Yeah, there's only one Europa. But hold on. No Chelsea. So we don't think Manchester United are making top 6?
No.
I think Chelsea have got a better chance than Man United now.
Based on what, Keith? Because it's not their results.
Just based on they haven't got European football to contend with, and like we said, they're clicking a little bit.
Yeah,
United
But-
won't very soon.
But it will depend. But it will depend on the run that Chelsea have. If they can pick up points like they did against Arsenal in this run that they've got coming up, that will determine a lot of how their season goes.
I'm not writing off Man United yet, man. It might seem like I'm being blind, but I'm not writing them off yet. Okay, cool. And then just a bit of a whirlwind round the rest of the results. Brentford beat Burnley 3-0. Brentford needed that. They hadn't won a game since August or something crazy like that.
3 good goals as well.
Yep. Fantastic for my fantasy team as well. Lovely Chamberlain. I like Mbemo, you know? Some bonus points in that one as well. The O'Neill, the Gary O'Neill classic. Wolves 2, Bournemouth 1. I think I'm going to lose a 10 on that Bournemouth thing. So basically, we had a big discussion about, I think we had it here, about were they out of order to fire him, etc. And I said, well, we got new owners, blah, 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 get a more experienced manager in. Flipping in 19th and haven't won a game. I made a bet that they would get 40 points or more.
They're going to be down
The
there.
fatal flaw in that bet was I didn't say that manager had to get them the 40 points, right?
Yeah.
So I'm still all right. But yeah,
I think they're going to be down there with Luton.
yeah,
Sheffield
people
United
are saying
and
that
Burnley.
he's going to be the first Prem casualty of the season, I think. So yeah, well done to Gary O'Neill. Good win there. Away win, 2-1. Manchester United, who were, they were 1-0 down at one point? Let me check. I think that just suits my agenda. Pretty sure. Well, it finished 1-1.
No. They went 1-0 up, then
Then they
Sheffield
equalised.
United
Yeah.
got a penalty.
And it stayed that way for some time.
Yeah. Keeper should have saved Dallo's shot.
Yeah, it was
That
poor.
was bruv. As
Mate.
soon as he received the ball and he opened that, that's back of the net.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeper got 2 hands on it.
77 minutes,
Shocking.
2-1,
Shocking,
and then they see it out. But again, should Manchester United be scraping 2-1s against
I mean, this is their level now, isn't it?
Sheffield United away?
That's their level.
I can't remember a game where they've looked competent for the whole 90 minutes. Like a lot of their games, they look
This is as
laborious.
best as it gets for them.
Yeah.
My United fan said to me that when he watches his team play, it just looks like different players are playing different games. So it's like Bruno and Rashford are playing counter-attacking football.
Bruv, the fans are turning on
he's
Bruno,
like-
you know.
Bruv, it's
Yep.
like Bruno, it's like Anthony and someone else are playing this type of football. These other guys are playing possession football. It's like we've just got 2 or 3 different
Games
things
within
going on.
games,
And he said
yeah.
that's why it's not gelling. I said, you know what? I hadn't thought about it like that, you know? It's so funny. And then lastly, run up the game. Forest 2, Luton 2. When I was checking on that game, Forest were winning.
2-0.
Yeah. The defending for the
Shocking.
2 Luton goals was absolutely diabolical.
2 goals in the space of 8 minutes.
Yeah. Like the equaliser,
Shocking.
the centre back has kicked it from his half straight into the Forest penalty box. And the strikers chested it down, turned and scored. Like it was so bad, the defending. But
Where's Origi? 2 goals from Chris Wood. I forgot he was still about. No, Pasta Winnie was not around.
no, he's injured, isn't he?
No Origi from the bench. Unless he's injured as well, possibly. Can't see him on the bench. So 2-2. Where does that leave Forest now? Because they banked those points early, didn't they? And we said that. So
Yeah, them being at home, they would have thought.
yeah, Forest have got 10 points already. Yeah, I think that buffer's gonna do them well. They've drawn 3 games. So in their last 6 games, they've drawn 4, won 1, lost 1. You're better off losing a couple and winning a couple more.
Yeah.
They don't want to get in that trap of just drawing games. They really, really don't. And then lastly, the game that's going on now, as we record, as it stands.
That's finished.
Oh, it's finished? Yeah, full time. 2-0 Tottenham. Son from a Richarlison assist and James Maddison from a Son assist. To your point, he's got...
They're linking up very well.
Linking up very, very well.
And if they're free from the shackles, that is Harry Kane.
Yeah. First goal at Tottenham as well. Like, all his goal contributions have been away from home.
Who? Madison?
Yeah, so it's first one.
So I'm telling you,
Brennan Johnson came on. The Celso came on. Okay, they're in a little squad business there.
I want to see who Tottenham next big games against. Because I know like they've played Man United, Arsenal and Liverpool. But Man United will get shocking. I think
Liverpool,
so they got Palace away, then they've got Chelsea at home, then Wolves away, then Villa at home. So I'm out of those. It's got to be the 2 home games.
Yeah. Chelsea and Villa games will be interesting.
And then they got City away, 3rd of December. So,
but yeah, the Tottenham do look good. I'm not gonna lie, but they've been fortuitous in the bigger games, I'd say.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, yeah.
Well, against Man United, like Bruno had a free header that he should have scored.
Ooh, tasty.
I think they were fortunate against Arsenal, and they were fortunate against us. So.
Tottenham's running.
Yeah.
End of the season.
Really?
Newcastle, City, Arsenal, Liverpool.
I don't want that game to be deciding anything for us, mate. Liverpool last game of the season.
No, they got Burnley and Sheffield United beef.
Oh,
but
yeah.
In that period.
Yeah. In that last.
And even for you guys, if you guys are in the title race as well, like.
Yeah. But that'll be at Anfield. Like we've been quite fortunate that we played the bigger teams away from home.
Away from them already. Yeah.
So, yeah. Back end of the season.
Well, looking ahead, Champions League is back.
Whoop, whoop.
Let's see. I just want to see who in Newcastle they got because
Dortmund.
So tomorrow, this isn't by groups, but tomorrow we're away at Sevilla. Again, I told you lot they want to hear Champions League. A lot of these players ain't playing it. Trust me, it's not going to be plain sailing.
So with the game you lost
to Lens.
So that was essentially your easiest away game, wasn't it? So I think
you
that's
see
kind
the
of
finishing.
yeah.
I said, nah. Hey, listen. The first goal the guy scored, the way he tucked it side net, I said, oh, okay. Then the second goal as well. It was just some poor defending.
Yeah.
But they didn't put a foot wrong in either attack. There was no the pass was just behind the player. Nah. It was just both on point.
So you think you
finished?
Must win already?
Of course. Yeah. Of course it is. Well, so they always say win your home games and then, minimize the damage away.
Yeah.
So it's got to at least be a draw tomorrow. We've already lost one away game.
And if they draw, then the next 3 games are must win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely got to do that. Sevilla, they'll be buoyed. They just had a draw with Real. So
Ramos.
Ramos getting
Even Rudiger.
Sergio.
Aye, Rudiger's a proper wind-up, isn't he?
I can't stand him.
He's a proper
I cannot
wind-up.
stand him. Like,
You'd love him in your team, though.
He'd be so annoying.
Mate.
Even sometimes when he's on TV, be like, bruv, allow it. He's just causing problems. So yeah, I think Ramos is gonna bully Jesus, bruv. Well, he won't be anywhere near him anyway. He'll be at the left back. Be having a chat with Zinni. Anyway, Manchester United at home to Copenhagen.
Must win for them as well, to be honest. So they should win. But
yeah, we'll see. City away to BSC Young Boys. All right, Rico Lewis, get your kit on. Yeah, Newcastle at home to Dortmund. I mean, to be honest, the way they dealt with PSG at home, I think Dortmund have got some work to do there. I'm gonna lie.
Newcastle will win that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dortmund not doing too bad though. There's like 3 or 4 teams at the top of the Bundesliga.
but
I think Yeah, Newcastle
I
will.
mean, Royce is old. Julian Brandt's decent. I mean, what Marlon Haller and who's the other winger?
Reina?
No.
Adeyemi?
No. Adeyemi.
Yeah.
Adeyemi.
Yeah. PSG, AC Milan. For now, be decent. I always check out now for AC Milan because of Loftus-Cheek and Pulisic and some more. They've been on stuff.
English
Leao.
contingency.
Yeah, and Leao as well. Celtic at home to Atletico Madrid. Peak for Celtic. Absolutely.
I don't know, you know. I think Celtic might. I think Madrid will win, but I think it'll be close.
Madrid they've been moving all right.
They have. I mean, Griezmann got a hat trick
Atletico.
the other weekend.
Yeah.
So you know.
Morata's feeling himself again.
Yeah.
Griezmann is moving like a number 10.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they will win, but I think I don't know. I've got a feeling the game will be close.
Yeah, those are the standout games for me. I can't even pronounce the team that Leipzig are playing against. Zvezda. Anyway, so
It's
yeah,
Red,
those
it's
are
Red
the standouts
Star.
for me.
It's Red Star.
Red Star who?
Belgrade.
Really?
That's their official name.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Look at you, well travelled in that.
You know?
Union Berlin, Napoli. I mean, Union Berlin is one of those teams where they kind of surprise people with what they did last season in the Bundesliga. And yeah, they're up against Napoli away, Osimhen. Yeah, man. I think I look at these lineups, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad the Champions League is back. None of that. They go. But there are some games where you're like, who's watching
Bayern
that?
Galatasaray game will be decent.
Yeah. Only because I want to see Zaha play the Champions League. And it's an earlier kickoff, so I'll have a look at that. But yeah, Benfica, Sociedad, couldn't care less. Where else is there? Lens, PSV, meh. Like, do you know what I mean? Feyenoord, Lazio, Bov. Royal Antwerp, Porto. Do me a favour. So yeah, a few standouts there. I mean, if Newcastle, let me check this group. Because,
Oh, right, this is round 3 already.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So
You got
Newcastle drew the
Sevilla
first game,
back-to-back.
beat PSG, beat PSG, they beat Dortmund.
So
I
you
mean,
got-
are they
you've
going to
got-
qualify top?
Maybe.
So what's your points tally now? You
Who?
would Arsenal. So
3
you
points.
lost to Lens.
Yeah, 3
Beat-
points.
Beat PSV.
You beat PSG.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, now
So
you
yeah,
got Sevilla
essentially you
back to back.
have to win.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's weird though, like the group stages, there's still some dud teams in there, innit? Like it's not till it gets to the last 16 when it really heats up. But
Mm.
it's
All right.
enjoyable nonetheless.
Well, we'll touch base on how the Champions League went on the next show. On wider news, England legend Sir Bobby Charlton sadly passed away on the weekend.
Yeah.
Um,
RIP.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
One of the Busby babes.
Yep. There's a lot about him I didn't. Again, unfortunately, when people pass away, you get a lot of information and context. I didn't realize he was, he survived the
Plane crash.
Munich,
plane crash,
Munich air disaster. I didn't realize he was there and he survived. I just thought actually maybe he wasn't on the plane or whatever.
No,
else. So
yeah.
there's very little I know about that. So set to contend with losing 8 or so of his teammates. And then when you start reeling it out, you kind of say, well, boy, he's one of the few Englishmen that can, when it comes to the conversation with all the big greats,
He's up there.
talk to me nice. Won the Champions League, won the World Cup. I'm like, so when it now comes to, he's the greatest England player of all time. I know, Keith, you were talking about, well, when you look across the generations, and to be fair, this has been part of the discourse actually, when, for the different generations of fans, they'd be like, well, okay, I never saw him play or whatever. But today, now more than ever, we just count people's honours, innit? We just look at what they won.
Yeah.
So on that basis, he's there.
Yeah.
With his
definitely.
goals record, he was England's highest top scorer.
Yeah.
He was Manchester United records top goal scorer, and he won the Champions League, and he won the World Cup, etc., etc. There's no other England player that can say that stuff.
No, not at all.
So
I think the conversation is, would they be able to do it in different eras? And I think it's
But why is that the conversation? Because no one has to do that.
no that's true. But I think if you look at
Isaac's not having it.
no, but I'm saying, but like if you look at the lifestyles of like players, etc. Like if you go back to like the 70s,
Yeah.
man were smoking cigarettes before games. So you're telling me a man in the 70s who's a defender rolling up against Messi, who's like prime physical, optimal performance, he could have a torrid time. You know what I mean? It's just how do you balance? I say like that's why I think it's good to kind of.
Are you telling me, man, like Maradona, Pele, George Best?
Well, remember,
Yeah,
like,
I'll be real with you.
but
They
I
don't
said
have a fledge into
no,
that.
but I said there's exceptions to the rule in it. Like
No. But George Best and Maradona are not exceptions. I'm sorry. George Best is not doing today what he was doing then with that lifestyle he was living. No. You're not coming to do that against Basuma and all these athletes after clapping over pints in the pub. No, you're not doing that, bro.
Romario was doing it. It's not far
But he
removed.
was doing it. Well, he was doing it then. 94 and
Not
them
far
times.
removed.
Well, that was 20 years ago. 94, come 94 was 20
30
years.
30, even
Okay,
worse.
Ronaldinho was doing it.
not to that
Not
level.
to that
though.
extent, bro.
Brother, and did you not hear about his time at AC Milan?
Yeah, but
What-
that's like,
what was in his contract?
But that was like the back end, didn't
And
it?
also,
Like,
and what's always thrown at Ronaldinho, even though he's my favourite player alongside R9, longevity, he didn't do it for long enough. That's what's thrown at him. So maybe that's why. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that Maradona's George Best lifestyle.
Okay. Jack Grealish.
What about him?
but he doesn't do it like during the season.
No,
innit?
I'm
Like,
with you. I'm with you. That's why
Yeah.
he's reached the top very late in his career. He's 27, 28. He touched Man City, you know? So maybe if he didn't, he might have. I don't know. I'm with you.
Yeah, I just think it's hard to say someone from kind of 50, 60 years ago is
Yeah.
the greatest ever. Greatest in terms of achievements, like you said, you can't knock it. But in terms of on
No,
pitch,
play what's in front of you, bro.
granted, but I'm saying like in terms of on pitch performance, like the levels have risen so much since then. I think it's hard to say that person would compete with, let's say, Rooney at his peak just because of the lifestyle and
Rooney was living like George Best, fam. No, but okay. My only counter to that is when you hear people talk about certain players from that time, and when they talk about what they put into the game, their dedication, their work ethic, etc. I just think, well, if he did that today with all the tech, with all the support, all of that stuff,
I was just about to. I was
that
waiting for you to
person
finish.
could be crazy. So
Nah.
one of the things people do say about Bobby Charlton, yeah, he wasn't a massive drinker. He used to work on it. Like he was on it.
Yeah, and like I said,
So-
there are exceptions, but I think if you take the average from the average
No,
player
no,
from that
I agree.
period
No, that's yeah.
to the average period now, like
Everyone agrees on that one.
Which
Everyone
is-
agrees.
which is
We're
fine.
talking about the superlative players, right?
Imagine Maradona off the drugs. Maradona who looked after his body like a Cristiano Ronaldo.
What we do, we've got Messi.
Anyway,
You don't have to imagine. Messi's here. I know it's not.
they're-
It's true. Messi's here. I don't get it. We don't have to.
but I'm talking about Maradona.
Yeah.
We don't have to imagine because Messi is, they're very
I mean,
similar. But-
There's a school of thought, yeah.
My point is this.
Yeah.
Now, he did all of that while allegedly
and you know what I'm
off
going
a
to say.
couple packets.
Well, it's not allegedly anymore. We had a documentary. Like, it's pretty out there.
We saw the
I'm not
fingerprints.
putting no smart in his name.
Saw the fingerprints. But there's a
We
school
saw
of
that celebration.
But Isaac, there's a school of
Oh,
thought.
no, just he did all of that
Yeah.
allegedly off a couple of packets.
Mm.
Now imagine him not on that and training hard and imagine the
Wow.
level that
Yeah.
the extra level.
remember he could have
got.
done more. Because in terms of league titles, I don't think Maradona won that many. Like he
Yeah,
won
I
the
think-
Napoli one.
Yeah, the Napoli one.
I'm not sure if he won one at Barca.
I'm not going to
No,
lie.
he
That
didn't.
Napoli one was
Yeah,
worth.
so
Didn't.
That Napoli one was
like-
worth 10 elsewhere.
Yeah,
But he took
and
them.
like granted, like you know, he won the World Cup, but again, no, I'm not using
So
it
that
as
like
I'm
it's
not
nothing,
using
you know.
No, I'm not using it as a stick to beat him with, but a player of his caliber to
Yeah.
say he's only had one league title. We've got to fact check that.
That's true.
Yeah, you would expect Maradona to have more
Yeah, but I
honors
think
in the bank. You know what I
true,
mean?
but wasn't he at a time where coming to Europe wasn't as big a thing as it is now? Number one. And number two, there's a school of thought that, you know, as like maybe if he wasn't doing that stuff, he wouldn't have been
who he was.
The great player he was.
Yeah.
He might, he just was who he was, right? He might not have taken certain risks, etc. So it's all coulda, woulda, shoulda. But I think generally, it's interesting how ironic it is that today everything is what's on paper, stats. And on that note, he ticks every box.
Yeah.
To be a records point.
2 with Napoli.
Yeah,
Two
two.
Napoli.
Yeah.
Did he win a league anywhere else?
With in Argentina.
So to hold both those records, scoring records, as a midfielder.
Yeah, like it's no slight on him. But
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying that this could be one of those exceptions. He's one of the few very, very small club of 25 players that can say they won a World Cup with England. He was in the first English team to win the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? It all kind of stacks up, but then when you're comparing other English quote unquote greats against him, you kind of like, yeah. Hello. So yeah, it is an interesting one, but I think that cross generational. I think everyone accepts there's the Pele, there's the Maradona, there's Cristiano, there's Messi,
like Eusebios, etc.
Yeah, and even Eusebio doesn't even get as much limelight as he should do. And then everyone else, I think, it just falls into the generational thing. I think whatever generation you're from, you'll appreciate those four, but everything else is gonna fall. Like we laud Zidane and certain people because we saw them play, and that was kind of like in our prime football viewing time as kids. But I don't think the youngsters, they're not going to talk about Zidane.
Yeah,
the way they're going to talk about maybe KDB and those guys, and that's how it's going to be generationally.
Yeah, like our kids are gonna look back and be like, "Who's this Zidane guy? Who's this?"
Exactly. You showed them a few videos and a few bits and bobs, but then other players would have done fantastic things, right?
Yeah.
The other players would be doing crazy stuff. And boy, right now, some of the stuff Zidane did, if you show a kid a Mahrez video, he'd tell you Mahrez is better than Zidane. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the highlight reels.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like the way it works. All right, lads. I think that's us for today. We'll be back next week with some Champions League chatter. More from the Premier League. Let's see. Let's see if United can turn up for that game or if they're just going to get steamrolled over. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.
Peace.